Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Eat with a Beat, Cooking with Rev Chris. Today, on episode 4, we're going to be making a quick and easy vegetarian pot pie. First thing, we're going to put a saucepan on the stove on kind of medium heat, and we're going to preheat our oven to 350. Let's start with that, kids. In the saucepan, let's add a little bit of olive oil. Let that get nice and hot and shimmery and spread out. In this container here, I've got a quarter of an onion sliced and one small bulb of fennel sliced. We're going to put that in. Add a little bit of salt and pepper. All right, the onions and fennel have been cooking for just about 8 minutes or so. Add some mushrooms. And again, add a pinch of salt and pepper to these mushrooms. After about 5 or 6 minutes, those mushrooms have released their juices, and you're going to kind of scrape the bottom of the pan. That stuff that builds up is called fond. And it's not burnt, it's all flavor. So the liquid from the mushrooms will get that up. And now, once your mushrooms have started to reduce a little, let's add a diced sweet potato and stir that up. Keep the heat at medium and then cover it, cracking the lid a little bit. Stir it every few minutes to make sure nothing scorches and gets stuck to the bottom of the pan, and cook this for another 5 minutes or so. Things have been cooking nicely. I'm going to add a tablespoon of flour and stir this up. All right, the flour's been cooking for about a minute. I want now to add some liquid to this, and I'm going to deglaze the bottom of this pan and get all that's flavor right there. That's not burn, that's fond, it's flavor. I'm going to add some stock, a little bit at a time. All right, I've added a couple cups of stock, probably 1.5 cups of vegetable stock, and I did it in kind of increments. And I scraped the bottom up, and the bottom is now nice and clean. And we're just going to let this simmer for 2 minutes. Not too long, though. Turn the temp down a little bit to medium-low. And then we're going to add a little bit at a time is some grated cheddar cheese and stir that in to get that incorporated. And we're going to turn all that stuff we scraped off from the bottom, plus the cheddar, is going to turn into an amazing cheese sauce when it mixes with that flour and the vegetable stock. All right, once all that cheddar cheese is incorporated into the sauce and it thickens a little bit, we're going to add a handful of sliced black olives off heat. At this point, give the sauce a taste for salt and pepper. I found that I did not need salt and pepper, but I did add a pinch of smoked paprika and a pinch of cayenne pepper. It needed something in there. So I did that. The heat is off of our filling, and now we get to move on to the other part. Okay, we're filled up here. Now I'm going to add the other piece of dough on top of this. All right, now I'm just going to take a knife and make a few little steam vents on our little guy here. Okay. Place it on a cookie sheet and bake it in your preheated oven at 350 for just about 15 minutes or so. Check it after 10 to make sure it's not burning. So here it is, our completed vegetable pot pie. I hope you've enjoyed this 4th episode of Eat with a Beat, Cooking with Rev Chris. Remember, if you do this recipe yourself, you don't have to use a dough for the shell. You can get pre-done phyllo dough, you can get puff pastry dough, you could do like a buttermilk biscuit and just drop the raw buttermilk biscuit on top of that and bake that off. Whatever's easiest. I like this because of the weird flavor combinations of the sweet potato, olive, fennel, and mushroom. Who would have thought they go together? But they do. See you next time.